If you've noticed changes in your sexual performance as you've gotten older, the vitamins and supplements you're taking may be playing a more important role than you think. Some health experts indicate that 3 common vitamin mistakes, made especially by men over 60, can negatively affect sexual health. Correcting these mistakes can help support your sexual performance. Research shows that approximately 70% of men over 60 experience some changes in sexual function, with many noticing decreased stamina, longer recovery times, or challenges with maintaining firmness. While some degree of change is normal with aging, the rate and extent of these changes can be influenced by multiple factors. Yet what many men don't realize is that certain vitamin and supplement practices that are intended to improve overall health may sometimes have unintended consequences for sexual function. What's particularly interesting is that 3 specific vitamin-related mistakes appear to be especially problematic for sexual health in older men. Let us know where you're watching from and how old you are in the comments below. These problematic vitamin practices have gained attention from medical experts who specialize in men's sexual health. What's consistent across these specialists' observations is that making strategic adjustments to vitamin and supplement use may help support healthy sexual function and potentially improve performance. When researchers first began investigating the connection between vitamins and sexual performance, many were surprised to discover how significant these seemingly minor nutritional factors could be. However, as evidence accumulates, the biochemical mechanisms behind these connections are beginning to make scientific sense. I'm Dr. Jonathan Miller, and for over 25 years, I've specialized in men's health with a focus on hormonal balance and sexual well-being, particularly for men in their later years. Today I'll share information about 3 common vitamin mistakes that may be negatively impacting your sexual performance. Mistakes that, when corrected, might help improve your sexual health and potentially enhance your intimate experiences. Before we explore these vitamin mistakes, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Each week, we share evidence-based approaches to healthy aging focused on practical, accessible strategies. If you're interested in ways to potentially support your sexual health, you won't want to miss our upcoming videos. These vitamin-related factors are worth examining because they relate to how hormonal balance, circulation, and energy production, 3 factors that significantly influence sexual function, are affected by what we consume. To understand why these vitamin practices matter, let's first look at how sexual function changes with age. As men age, several physiological changes can affect sexual performance. Testosterone levels gradually decline, blood vessels may become less flexible, nerve sensitivity can decrease, and cellular energy production often becomes less efficient. These natural changes can contribute to slower arousal, changes in firmness, and decreased stamina. Additionally, many men over 60 are taking multiple medications for various health conditions, some of which may have sexual side effects. When these age-related changes and medication effects are combined with suboptimal vitamin practices, the impact on sexual function can be more pronounced. With these factors in mind, let's examine the 3 vitamin mistakes that health experts have identified as potentially problematic for men's sexual health after 60. The 3 problematic vitamin mistakes. The first vitamin-related mistake that may be negatively affecting your sexual performance is excessive supplementation with certain B vitamins, particularly B6, pyridoxine, when taken in high doses over long periods. While B vitamins are essential for overall health and energy production, recent research suggests that very high doses of vitamin B6, typically from supplements rather than food sources, may potentially affect nerve function in some individuals. Since healthy nerve transmission is crucial for sexual response, this could theoretically impact sexual function. The potential issue involves a paradoxical effect where extremely high doses of B6, generally exceeding 100 mg daily for extended periods, may actually cause symptoms of peripheral neuropathy in some individuals, the very condition lower doses help prevent. This neuropathy can include numbness, tingling, or reduced sensation in extremities, which could potentially affect genital sensitivity and sexual response. Another concern is that high-dose B vitamin supplements, particularly those containing B6 and B12 together, may interact with certain medications commonly prescribed to older men, including some blood pressure medications, statins, and diabetes drugs. These interactions might potentially contribute to sexual side effects or reduce the effectiveness of medications prescribed specifically for sexual function. Health experts typically recommend that men over 60 get their B vitamins primarily from whole food sources, which naturally provide these nutrients in balanced amounts. For those who do need supplementation, choosing a moderate dose, high-quality B complex that provides B vitamins in their more bioavailable forms, like P5, P for B6 instead of pyridoxine hydrochloride, may be preferable to high-dose single B vitamin supplements. The second vitamin-related mistake that might be contributing to sexual performance issues is imbalanced calcium and magnesium supplementation, particularly taking calcium supplements without adequate magnesium. Calcium and magnesium work in a delicate balance in the body, with magnesium often acting as a natural calcium channel blocker. This balance is crucial for proper muscle function, including the smooth muscle tissue involved in blood vessel dilation, a process essential for healthy erectile function. When calcium intake, particularly from supplements, significantly exceeds magnesium intake, it may potentially affect the calcium-magnesium ratio in cells, which could theoretically impact blood vessel dilation and blood flow. Optimal blood flow is absolutely essential for male sexual function, so any factor that might affect vascular dilation could potentially influence performance. Additionally, magnesium plays important roles in testosterone production and energy metabolism, both crucial factors for healthy sexual function. Research suggests that magnesium deficiency is relatively common in older adults, yet many seniors take calcium supplements without corresponding magnesium, potentially further skewing this important mineral balance. Health experts typically recommend that men over 60 who take calcium supplements also ensure adequate magnesium intake, ideally in a ratio of about 2:1 calcium to magnesium. For many men, increasing magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, possibly combined with a modest magnesium supplement, 100 to 300 milligrams, may help restore this balance. The third vitamin-related mistake that may be impacting sexual performance is excessive supplementation with certain fat-soluble vitamins, particularly vitamin A and vitamin E when taken as isolated supplements in high doses over long periods. Fat-soluble vitamins, unlike water-soluble vitamins, are stored in the body's fatty tissues and liver, which means they can accumulate over time. While adequate amounts of these vitamins are essential for health, excessive supplementation may potentially lead to adverse effects, including some that could indirectly affect sexual function. With vitamin A retinol, very high doses from supplements, typically exceeding 10,000 IU daily for extended periods, may potentially contribute to liver stress in some individuals. Since the liver plays a crucial role in hormone metabolism, including testosterone, anything that affects liver function could theoretically impact hormonal balance and, consequently, sexual health. Similarly, high-dose vitamin E supplements, typically exceeding 400 IU daily, have shown mixed results in research, with some studies suggesting potential interference with cardiovascular function in certain populations. Since cardiovascular health is intimately connected with sexual function through its effects on blood flow, this represents another potential concern. It's worth noting that these potential issues generally apply to isolated, high-dose supplemental forms rather than food sources of these nutrients. Beta-carotene, which the body converts to vitamin A as needed from colorful vegetables, and natural vitamin E from nuts, seeds, and plant oils appear to be beneficial rather than problematic, even in relatively high dietary amounts. Health experts typically recommend that men over 60 get these fat-soluble vitamins primarily from whole food sources, which naturally provide them in balanced amounts along with complementary nutrients. For those who do need supplementation, choosing a high-quality multivitamin that provides moderate amounts is generally preferable to high-dose isolated supplements. Robert, a 72-year-old who had been noticing gradual changes in his sexual performance, discovered that his supplement regimen might be contributing to the issue. "I was taking high doses of several vitamins, thinking more was better," he explains. "I was on 200 milligrams of B6 daily, 800 IU of vitamin E, and calcium without magnesium. When my doctor suggested these might be affecting my performance, I was skeptical but willing to adjust my approach." After working with a healthcare provider to modify his vitamin regimen, reducing B6 to a more moderate level, balancing calcium with magnesium, and getting more vitamins from whole foods instead of high-dose supplements, Robert noticed improvements. Within about 6 weeks, I started experiencing better response and more consistent performance. It wasn't a dramatic overnight change, but a gradual improvement that has continued to build over time. What surprised Robert most was how these vitamin adjustments affected his overall energy. Beyond the specific sexual benefits, I noticed better everyday energy and stamina. I hadn't connected these factors before, but it makes sense that what affects cellular energy would influence both daily vitality and sexual performance. Implementing better vitamin practices. Making changes to established supplement routines can take some adjustment, but implementing more balanced vitamin practices is relatively straightforward. Here are specific recommendations for addressing each area of concern. 4B vitamin supplementation. Consider switching from high-dose individual B supplements to a moderate-dose B complex that provides B vitamins in their more bioactive forms. Look for supplements that provide no more than about 50 milligrams of B6, ideally in the P5, P form rather than pyridoxine hydrochloride. Even better, focus on getting B vitamins from whole food sources like whole grains, meat, eggs, dairy, legumes, seeds, and a variety of vegetables. For mineral balance, if you take calcium supplements, ensure you're also getting adequate magnesium, ideally in a ratio of about 2:1, calcium to magnesium. Consider a supplement that provides both minerals in this ratio, or add a magnesium supplement if you're already taking calcium. Increase consumption of magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, and whole grains. Some men find that a modest magnesium supplement, 100 to 300 milligrams, taken in the evening also helps with sleep quality, which indirectly supports sexual health. 4 fat-soluble vitamins. Shift your focus from high-dose isolated supplements to whole food sources of these nutrients. Get vitamin A primarily from beta-carotene in colorful vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and dark leafy greens. Obtain vitamin E from nuts, seeds, avocados, and olive oil. If you do need supplementation, consider a high-quality multivitamin that provides moderate amounts rather than high-dose individual supplements. Thomas, a 68-year-old with concerns about declining sexual performance, found implementing these vitamin adjustments relatively straightforward. My supplement cabinet was overflowing with individual vitamins I'd added over the years, often increasing the doses when I read about potential benefits, he shares. Simplifying my approach and focusing more on food sources not only improved my sexual health, but also saved me money and reduced the number of pills I was taking each day. What Thomas found particularly effective was balancing his calcium and magnesium intake. I had been taking calcium for bone health, but wasn't getting much magnesium. Adding a magnesium supplement and increasing magnesium-rich foods in my diet seemed to help not only with sexual function, but also with muscle tension and sleep quality, which created a positive cycle of improvements. Thomas also noted how reducing his high-dose B6 supplement made a difference. I had been taking a high-dose B6 supplement for years, thinking it was helping my energy. When I switched to a more moderate B complex instead, I noticed that some tingling I had been experiencing in my feet started to improve, and over time, I seemed to have better sensitivity and response during intimate moments. Let us know where you're watching from, and how old you are in the comments below. While correcting these 3 main vitamin mistakes provides a good foundation, there are several additional nutritional considerations that might further support sexual health. These targeted modifications might be worth considering depending on your particular situation. Additional nutritional considerations for sexual health. For men experiencing decreased libido, ensuring optimal vitamin D levels may be beneficial. Vitamin D functions more like a hormone than a typical vitamin, and research suggests it plays important roles in testosterone production and overall sexual health. Many men over 60 have suboptimal vitamin D levels, especially those who live in northern climates or spend limited time outdoors. A simple blood test can determine your current status, allowing for appropriate supplementation if needed. For those concerned with vascular health, a crucial component of erectile function, certain antioxidants may provide support. vitamins C and E, when obtained from food sources or moderate dose supplements, work synergistically to support blood vessel health and function. Additionally, plant compounds like flavonoids, found in colorful fruits, vegetables, tea, and dark chocolate, have shown promise for supporting vascular health and potentially benefiting sexual function. For men taking medications that might affect sexual function, like certain blood pressure medications or antidepressants, ensuring optimal levels of zinc and B vitamins may be particularly important. These nutrients play key roles in hormone production and nervous system function, potentially helping to counterbalance some medication-related effects. However, it's crucial to discuss any supplement changes with your healthcare provider if you're on prescription medications. James, a 74-year-old taking multiple medications for cardiovascular health, found that addressing these additional nutritional factors made a significant difference. My doctor tested my vitamin D and found it was quite low, so I started supplementation under medical supervision, he explains. I also increased my intake of colorful fruits and vegetables for their flavonoid content, and made sure I was getting adequate zinc from foods like pumpkin seeds and oysters. After about 3 months of these comprehensive nutritional adjustments, James noticed substantial improvements. My overall energy improved first, followed by gradual enhancements in sexual response and satisfaction. At my age, I wasn't expecting dramatic changes, but the improvements have been meaningful enough to significantly enhance my quality of life and relationship. What James appreciated most was how these nutritional approaches complemented his medical treatments. I need to continue my prescribed medications for my heart health, so finding nutritional strategies that help counterbalance some of their sexual side effects has been invaluable. My doctor has been supportive of this integrated approach. The biochemical mechanisms behind how these vitamin practices affect sexual health involve several interconnected systems. B vitamins play crucial roles in energy production, nerve function, and circulation, all essential for sexual performance. The calcium-magnesium balance affects muscle function, blood vessel dilation, and cellular signaling pathways involved in arousal and response. Fat-soluble vitamins influence hormone production, antioxidant protection, and cellular health in ways that can indirectly but significantly impact sexual function. Now, I want to share what might be the most important factor for success with these nutritional adjustments, something that health experts consistently emphasize. The key factor appears to be a balanced, personalized approach rather than a one-size-fits-all strategy. Unlike pharmaceutical interventions that might produce similar effects across individuals, nutritional needs and responses can vary significantly based on your unique biochemistry, existing health conditions, medication use, and current nutritional status. Working with healthcare providers who understand nutritional biochemistry, such as functional medicine practitioners, naturopathic physicians, or conventionally trained doctors with additional nutrition training, can help you determine the specific adjustments most likely to benefit your particular situation. Simple blood tests can identify potential vitamin deficiencies or imbalances, allowing for targeted intervention rather than guesswork. It's also important to maintain realistic expectations and patience. Unlike medications designed for sexual function that often produce effects within hours, nutritional approaches typically work more gradually by supporting the body's fundamental systems. Many men report noticing initial improvements within 3 to 4 weeks, with continued enhancements over several months as cellular health improves. Michael, a 79-year-old who incorporated these nutritional principles into his comprehensive approach to sexual health, emphasized the importance of patience and consistency. These aren't quick fixes. They're about creating the optimal biochemical environment for sexual health, he shares. I committed to giving the approach at least 3 months before evaluating results, and I'm glad I did because the improvements continued to develop over time. What Michael found most valuable was how these nutritional adjustments supported his overall vitality. Sexual health doesn't exist in isolation from the rest of bodily function. By optimizing my nutrition to support cellular energy, circulation, and hormonal balance, I've experienced improvements not just in sexual performance, but in mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical energy, all of which contribute to a more satisfying intimate life. For those who want to implement these more balanced vitamin practices, I recommend starting with a review of your current supplement regimen, ideally with input from a knowledgeable healthcare provider. Identify any high-dose individual supplements that might fall into the 3 problematic categories we've discussed, and consider transitioning to a more balanced approach that emphasizes food sources of nutrients complemented by moderate, strategic supplementation where needed. Remember that these nutritional approaches work best as part of a comprehensive strategy for sexual health that includes appropriate medical care, regular physical activity, stress management, adequate sleep, and attention to relationship factors. Sexual well-being emerges from the complex interplay of physical, emotional, and relational elements, with nutrition providing fundamental support for the physical aspects. It's worth noting that while these vitamin adjustments are generally safe for most men, it's always wise to discuss significant changes to your supplement regimen with your healthcare provider, particularly if you're taking medications or have existing health conditions. Let's summarize the 3 vitamin mistakes that men over 60 with sexual health concerns should consider correcting. Excessive supplementation with certain B vitamins, particularly high-dose B6, which may potentially affect nerve function when taken in large amounts over extended periods. Imbalanced calcium and magnesium supplementation, particularly taking calcium without adequate magnesium, which may affect the mineral balance important for muscle function and blood vessel dilation. Excessive supplementation with certain fat-soluble vitamins, particularly isolated high-dose vitamin A and vitamin E, which may potentially affect liver function and cardiovascular health over time. Instead, focus on these more balanced approaches. Get B vitamins primarily from whole foods, using moderate-dose B-complex supplements when needed, preferably with more bioactive forms. Balance calcium with magnesium in approximately a 2-to-1 ratio, increasing consumption of magnesium-rich foods, and considering modest supplementation if appropriate. Obtain fat-soluble vitamins primarily from whole food sources, using moderate-dose multivitamins rather than high-dose isolated supplements when supplementation is needed. Additionally, consider optimizing vitamin D status, increasing antioxidant and flavonoid intake from colorful plant foods, and ensuring adequate zinc from dietary sources or moderate supplementation. These nutritional adjustments, when implemented thoughtfully as part of a comprehensive approach to health, may help support the biochemical foundations of sexual function and potentially improve performance for many men over 60. While no nutritional approach can completely prevent age-related changes in sexual function, these strategies represent gentle, complementary options that might help optimize your sexual health as you age. The beauty of these approaches lies in their additional benefits for overall health. What's good for your sexual vitality is generally good for your heart, brain, and entire body. If you found this information valuable, please consider sharing this video with friends and family who might benefit. Many men struggle with sexual health issues as they age, unaware that simple nutritional adjustments might offer additional support. Subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based approaches to healthy aging, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Each week, we explore different aspects of well-being for older adults, always focused on practical, accessible strategies. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you vibrant health and well-being in the years ahead. Until next time, take good care of yourself.